Apple had their April event finally. In this video, I'm going to tell you what things they announced, and obviously, as usual, I'm going to give you at the end my opinion regarding those products and regarding the presentation as a whole. Let's get to it. Okay, we're gonna go in the order of the most insignificant to the most significant things that were announced at this event. And basically they knew what was insignificant and what was significant, and they went basically in that same order. The most insignificant thing they announced was a new color for the iPhone 12 lineup. Specifically for the iPhone 12 mini and iPhone 12, there's a new color, purple, Thanos purple. It's actually not a new color at all. Once I saw the color for the first time, I realized that my sister has an iPhone 11 in that same exact color. So it's not an actual new color. It's just a color that they decided to add to the color lineup on the iPhone 12s. The next thing they talk about was the AirTags. Finally, after it being rumored since 2019, the AirTags have finally arrived. We've already talked a lot about the AirTags, so I'm not going to go over them again. I'm just going to tell you it's a device that you attach to something that you want to be able to find easily. Like, for example, your keys, your luggage, your purse, etc. Basically, nothing new was indicated in this event. The only new thing that was announced is that you will be able to engrave your AirTag with whatever you want. So you can be one of those people that put the poop emoji on your AirTag and just put it inside the Hermes leather case just because you can. The price for the AirTags is $29 for one and $99 for a pack of 4. I was actually pretty surprised by that. I did not expect Apple to actually sell him that cheap. I actually thought they were going to be worth closer to $50 considering it's Apple. But it's not bad. It's not a bad price. The next thing Apple announced was an update to the Apple TV 4K. Yes, an update, not a new Apple TV as was expected. The only changes that were made were to the controller, which I'm going to discuss a little bit later on, and to the processor. Now it's going to come with an A12, not an A13, not even an A14, which is the one that the iPhone uses this year. It's going to be an A12 processor, and this is basically what they are promoting, is that it's going to come with a higher frame rate, because of course we all watch those high frame rate HDR videos that we just can't get enough of. As I mentioned, the only other change was to Siri, the Siri remote. This Siri remote is completely redesigned. I actually own the previous Siri remote. I don't like it at all. That touchpad on top, it's horrible. And a lot of people were indicating that they didn't like it because if it fell in a dark place and it fell face up, it was basically impossible to find. Now it's redesigned. It has sort of a retro look. It looks like the previous one, but with features from the new one. It brings back the click wheel as in iPods did of years past. It also has the swipe to pass gesture. It still has that. It still has the Siri button. It was now moved to the side like in an iPhone. And the only other difference is that it now has a power button, which in my opinion is completely insignificant, because you can just tell Siri to turn off the Apple TV, and if you have it programmed in such a way, it'll actually turn off your TV. But for those who don't have it programmed that way, there you go. Now you have a power button. The prices are basically the same. Apple TV 4K with 32 gigs is $179. The Apple TV with 64 gigabytes is $199. The controller you can buy it separately, and from what I saw on the website, it does work with previous versions of the Apple TV 4K. It'll be as a loan purchase of $59. I'm thinking about it because I really do hate that black controller. I'm thinking about it. That touchpad on top is just horrible. So if I do buy it, I'll let you know how it works out. Okay, we now move on to the 2 stars of the show. Just 2 things left. Obviously, first thing, finally, an update to the iMac, a redesign. It's finally here. It's not at all what was expected. Everybody expected a screen that was going to be edge to edge or close to edge as possible. It's not. It still has a huge chin on the bottom. But basically, the reason for the chin is because that's where all the components for the computer are. The processor, fans, speakers, and it supposedly brings some really nice speakers that give you a really nice thump on the bass. Basically, same N1 processor, no new processors, unfortunately. Everybody was expected to either the M2 or the M1X to come out. It didn't. It could be from the video that I did yesterday. It could be because of that worldwide silicon shortage. We don't know. Apple is obviously not gonna give us as much information. It's the redesign. It's as was expected. It's basically like you placing an iPad on a cheaper version of the Pro Display XDR stand. You remember the Pro Display XDR, the $5,000 monitor with a $1,000 stand, and nobody can forget that. It's basically a meme all by itself. But anyways, it's basically an iPad stuck to a cheap-looking version of the Pro Display XDR stand. It has the headphone on the side. It brings 4 USB-C ports, of which 2 are Thunderbolt 2 ports. So, a lot of people were saying that the 13-inch MacBook Pro only having 2 and the Mac Mini only having 2 was a problem. So their solution to this problem was to just give them 4 USB-C ports and then just make 2 of them Thunderbolt 2 ports. That was their solution. I think it's a cop-out, but then again, they did give you the 4 ports that you wanted. And finally, the price of the iMac, it will start at $1,299 for those of you who are interested in purchasing them. Obviously, with upgrades, you can go a lot higher up than that, so the upgrades are entirely up to you. I forgot to mention about the iMac 3 things. One is no Face ID. Everybody was expecting, since it was going to look like an iPad, for it to bring Face ID. No Face ID. It's going to bring Touch ID, wireless Touch ID through the keyboard. But then again, it's a specific keyboard that you select. I'm pretty sure that, knowing Apple, it's actually going to cost more because it has that technology, and there's going to be apparently more than one option for keyboard that you will be able to select. All keyboards, mice and trackpads will come in whatever color or similar color or matching color, that's the word, matching color to the iMac that you purchase. So if you buy a green one, it's going to come with a green trackpad or green mouse with the green themed keyboard and stuff like that. The colors, I gotta say something about the colors. I really didn't like the colors at all. Not even the silver. I just don't like it. The silver with the white front, it just looks horrible. I don't know what Apple's doing with the color schemes. But I honestly, I don't like it at all. Then again, it's Apple's decision to do whatever they want with the colors, but I just gotta say it. I don't like the colors at all. If maybe they would have added space gray, which is the dark color that they call their darkest computer configuration, maybe that would have looked a little bit better. But I'm pretty sure they know that that's the one that most people are going to purchase. Maybe it's also a hint that they're saving that color for an iMac Pro. Could be. We never know. We'll just have to wait. Okay, and finally, the last product that was announced was the iPad Pro. Everybody expected that the iPad Pro would come with an A14X, which would be a similar chip to the M1. No, it comes with the M1 chip, which is, I actually did a thumbnail for one of the videos putting the M1 on top of the iPad. Apparently, I don't know if they're paying attention. If you are, thank you. You can promote me or something like that. Anyways, it does come with the M1 processor. No, Final Cut Pro was not announced that it's coming to the iPad, which was really frustrating, even though when they actually spoke that you can now edit with your iPad, I was like, wow, they're gonna bring Final Cut Pro. Nope, no, there's no announce whatsoever. It is, they are now different models. The 11-inch will be the same, basically the same as the previous model of the iPad, but the 12.9-inch is the one that is bringing the mini LED display. I've spoken about it before. I said I don't like the idea. I still don't like it, to the point that I'm going to keep my 2018 iPad Pro until the day it dies, unless, of course, for the next update they actually do bring the mini LED to the iPad 11-inch. I don't like the idea at all of you having two products with the exact same names, different sizes, but giving them different features. Once you give a product a same name, you gotta give them the same features, because the 11-inch iPad Pro stopped being an iPad Pro. It just became an iPad if you're not giving it the exact same features as the 12.9. I understand size and all of that, but I actually think that it would have been easier and cheaper to make the 11-inch iPad Pro with a mini LED. It would have been actually a lot easier to do. But I digress. I leave that to everybody's opinion. It's just frustrating for Apple to be making decisions like that. Especially, I could understand the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus, which is the first one that differentiated itself from the other. The iPads, the iPhone 7 was actually just called the iPhone 7, and the other one was the Plus. So it did bring an additional camera lens. So it's not exactly the same name, but when you have the exact same name on the product, you got to give them the same features. That is an absolute no for me. Absolutely not. Finally, what is my opinion regarding the event? Nothing that was surprising. A lot of things that were upsetting. The colors were uglier than what they suspected that they were going to be. They expected something to be like iPad Air-like. They actually wound up being more to the side of the AirPods Max type of colors, which I don't like at all. But that's up to everybody's opinion. There was absolutely nothing in this event that was not expected already. Aside from the engraving, which I mentioned before. I know that there's going to be people out there that, I'm going to have my AirTag inside the AirMay with a poop emoji just popping out right there. So obviously everybody can see him. That's going to be hilarious all by itself. But overall, it was another Apple event. Everybody expected a better processor for the iMac. I know it's the 24-inch, it's not the large one, but it's still, a lot more was expected. If you like this video, please hit the like button right below me. Also, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you can receive notifications when we have new videos. Remember, we're available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and obviously YouTube at J.R. Abrams Tech, so you can stay up to date with the latest news and rumors about tech. Until next time.